This episode of Like It or Not is sponsored by CH Peptides, a trusted source for high-quality research peptides like tirzepatide, BPC157, and IGF-1LR3. With fast shipping, consistent purity, and top-tier service, CH Peptides keep things simple and reliable. Want to learn more or book an appointment? Just call or text 707-380-6411. Tell them your boys from Like It or Not sent you, and you get 15% off your order. You can also order at chpeptides.com and enter Like It or Not at checkout for 15% off your order. So do not delay. Call today. That's CH Peptides. Products are for research use only, not intended for human or animal use. Complete Health Peptides makes no claims or promises regarding the effects of any product. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Thompson Construction. Thompson Construction is an excavating and grading general engineering contractor based right here in Ukiah, California. They specialize in septic system installation and repairs, land and site development for residential, commercial, agricultural, anything you got going on. These guys can handle it. No job too big or too small. At Thompson Construction, they love what they do and they take the utmost pride in their work. Customer satisfaction and great attention to detail is a major goal of these guys. So give them a call today, 707-391-7679 for your free quote. That's 707-391-7679. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by the Thirsty Axe. Go to thirstyaxe.com to check out all of their upcoming events. They have bands, they have DJs, they always have good shit going on there. They also have on every single Wednesday night, it's trivia night, ladies and gentlemen, trivia night. Who else has trivia night? No one but the Thirsty Axe. And every Thursday is karaoke. Oh my gosh, you guys. If you haven't been there for a karaoke night, you need to get your asses down there because it's a blast. So go to thirstyaxe.com. Check out all of their events. Go there, have a drink, throw some axes, play some pool, enjoy yourselves. And thirstyaxe.com for all of their upcoming events. Spring is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and you have a project that needs to be done, and we have the people to do that project. DC Customs. That's who we're talking about. You have a truck that needs a lift or an exhaust or new tires, or you want to pimp out your ride, DC Customs is the place to do it. Go to dccustoms.net or call right now to get your project started at 707-463-2227. That's the OG's DC Customs. My name is Carter Lane.
I'm Drew Nickel.
Welcome to the show.
Whether you like it or not.
Oh my God. I think you have a problem, bro.
What the fuck is wrong with you? We still got swear words in the intro?
Bro, we've been over this many times, dude.
You're gonna get this pulled off YouTube.
The algorithm doesn't catch it because we have sponsors who you guys who
you've all just listened to.
Thank you.
Thanks for supporting the show.
Thank you for sponsoring the show, by the way, to all of our wonderful sponsors. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah.
And you guys should support the people who support the show, because without them, there would be no JJ. And without JJ, there would be no beautiful faces that we have right here.
It would just be the sound of my voice.
It would just, yeah.
And Lord knows you don't want that.
And you guys didn't like that too much. So, support the people who support the show. Welcome back to another episode. This is Johnny Depp.
AKA Elvis Jr.
Oh, yeah. Elvis Jr., Jim Jones Jr.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I like the
Do you like grape?
I don't know if I can take you seriously with those things on.
Why? I think I look pretty damn cool, don't you?
I like them.
Thanks, Courtney.
Oh, dude. Courtney likes them.
That's all you need to know, dog.
Fuck me. What does my opinion matter?
Maybe later, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You got a new hat, new glasses, dude. What's
It's not a new hat, but I rotate them, so you guys don't get sick of looking at them. I wore it once on the show before.
Oh, yeah?
But you didn't even know because that's how long it's been.
What episode?
192. I made that up, dude.
Yeah, dude, you don't even know.
I have no idea what show.
Anyways, okay, you look good.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
Stepping it up in 2026.
How about me?
New year, new me. You look fantastic.
Thanks, bro.
I'm really glad that you brought the beard back because when you're just buck naked face,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to look at. I mean that in the nicest way. That didn't come out right.
My
dude.
buck naked face is hard for you to look at. That's what I heard. Is that what you said?
I think you look handsome with hair on your face. We'll just
Okay.
leave it at that.
Even though it's white?
Yeah, I think it's just distinguished, dude.
All right.
You know, when it's just like your chin and it's, freshly exposed from being under a beard and it's like, no, you kind of pasty and just, I don't know. It's not the look.
Fuck, dude. Okay, bro.
We're going to shave my
guess
mustache
I'll have
off live on stage at some point here and we'll see how that looks.
Of course we are. Yeah. We should make a bet, and whoever loses has to shave their facial hair.
The bet will be whether I have a hair lip underneath this or not.
I already know you do.
That's right. 2 more quarters and I get the surgery.
Yeah, this thing is only staying for the snow.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Little Jack Frost
Yeah. Because my face gets really cold if I'm snowboarding with bare skin.
with your bare naked face.
Yeah. And people tend to not want to hang out with me anymore.
I'll hang out with you whenever, bro.
Anyways, enough of us. We have a beautiful, wonderful guest today, Courtney O'Farrell.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram handle?
Home and mom life.
Home and Mom Life. Yes. Hilarious,
Thank you.
by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
You fucking crack me up.
I try. Sometimes
great.
I just like show up on there, and my whole thing is with social media is like just show up and be completely myself. Because I've done the whole influencer thing on TikTok, and then when I started my Instagram, I grew it by being completely authentic. Like I've got 1,000 dishes, and it's really to just be like, hey moms, this is real shit. Sometimes your baby like explodes shit on the wall, and this is real life, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be like, look at me, I'm perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what the new currency is these days is authenticity,
It
I
is
think. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. When I entered motherhood in 2020, there's really a big shift on social media from being like the curated influencer pages were really popular to people being like, I've got no makeup, I haven't washed my hair in 3 days, and it's like, but here I am showing up, and people really craved that. And I think COVID really spurred that because people had no connection with other humans. So it's like when you go online, you really wanted to feel like connected with people.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I think I've got undiagnosed ADHD. I have a very small filter. Like, I'm showing up, and I'm going to say it like it is.
Wow, I think we're peas in a pod.
Yeah, dude. I think we found our new co-host.
My wife is like, you have HDHD. And I'm like, no, I don't have that.
ADHD.
ADHD.
Motherfucker can't even sell it right.
Yeah.
I have OBSD. OBDC.
Oh my God. So have you always been into like creating content and stuff? Like when does this journey start for you?
Well, no, I haven't.
Okay.
I mean, if you told me like 10 years ago, like you'd be an influencer one day, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, no way, dude. Like, what? Really? Like, because back then influencers were like really rich, skinny, perfect hair, everything, and I'm like, not that, but I started in 2020. I had a COVID baby in June of 2020. So it was like right in COVID. And
He was born with COVID?
no shit. Oh, God.
He comes out, he's like,
Well, for one, it was a girl, so no.
Oh, she comes
my
out.
bad.
She's all, Dr. Fauci.
Fauci, will you get the nasal swab, please, Fauci?
Oh man, no, that one sucked. No, she was actually born with club feet, so actually a lot worse.
Oh
Now
my
I feel like a dick. You're a dick, dude.
You're an asshole, bro. That's fucked up shit.
I could joke about it now.
Yeah. What are clubbed feet?
So club feet are where your feet are, if you're watching the video, these are normal feet, and then her feet were like pointed all the way down because her Achilles tendon was too short, but then the inner tendon on her ankles were also too short, so they're all the way upwards too. So instead of feet like this, they were like turned all the way up like that.
Whoa, I had a cat born like that one time.
Oh man, that sucks to be a cat because there's a lot of care for humans. I don't know if there's a lot of care for cats.
No, that cat got thrown in the pool.
Shit, man.
Put him in a pillowcase with a couple of rocks.
Oh my God. Don't we nurse that cat back to life and his feet grew up and then he got his tail ran over and we got it amputated and then he ran away.
Yeah.
He's like, these guys suck.
Yeah.
it is
Save
a
my
hard
life.
knock-
I'm out of here.
Hard knock life.
Oh man.
So what do they do with the club feet? They extend the Achilles tendon and
Yeah. So when she was 2 weeks old, all of her treatments started. So it starts with casting, and she had it on both of her feet. So they like stretch her feet as far as they'll go, and then they put full leg cast on the baby. So
oh dear Lord.
I'm a new mom.
This is your
First baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The worldwide pandemic had just started a few months ago, and I have this special needs baby, and I had a really, really, really rough labor. Her and I both almost died. She was stillborn, and they resuscitated her. And as that was going on, I hemorrhaged and was bleeding out.
Oh my God, dude.
And this was like, oh, I could tell the whole birth story. It's a long story, but it was gnarly. And so, you know, I was just like going through so much. And then, wait, what was the question? Here's my ADHD.
What do you do for club feet?
What do you do? Okay, yeah. So
Cast.
yeah, and so and I think the very first question was, how did I start content creation?
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll circle back.
We're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
rolling with it.
We
dog.
we just ride the waves.
Yeah, but with Club Feet, so we're 2 weeks into life, you know, and we have to go down to the Children's Hospital in Sacramento, which Shriners Children's Hospital. Thank God for them. Oh, they are amazing, amazing, amazing people.
And this is in the middle of COVID too, right?
Yes, it is. And so their new policies were that with every child, only one parent could go in. And so I was breastfeeding, you know, and she's a 2-week-old baby and she wouldn't take a pacifier, wouldn't take a bottle. And so my husband had to just sit in the car in the parking lot every single visit.
Oh my fuck.
And we went down every single week, and they would have to saw off these casts on this little baby and then stretch her feet back out. And like, while I'm waiting, you know, in between the old cast and the new cast, I would have to give her a bath in the hospital room because you can't give her an actual bath with casts on, you know, it would just be like sponge bathing her. So I'm in there by myself doing all of this. And then they would have to like pin her down to put the new cast on. Oh my God, talk about trauma. Like this baby is just like screaming. And the first visit, I'm a new mom. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I had the bright idea to just hold the baby. And then, or no, I had her in the car seat. I had her diaper bag and I had my purse. And then, as this is all happening in the middle of the visit, which they're like hours long, I am postpartum bleeding and I bled through my freaking pants and I'm just like walking around the hospital by myself with this baby with like bloody pants and I'm like,
Your husband's in the car doom scrolling.
dude, yeah, like he has no idea. I'm like having a full-blown mental breakdown and I'm like, what do I do, you know? And so then they get the cast on her and all this and oh crap, I can't remember where I was going with this story again. Man, maybe the caffeine is not good for me.
Is it a waist high cast?
Okay, so
Or just the legs?
goes up all the way up to her hips. So it's like the bottom of the diaper and then the cast.
Oh my God.
So you can change your diaper. at
I
least.
can change her diaper, yes,
but they're not, the legs aren't independent.
They
Like,
are.
They have to stay in
They
the same.
are. Her legs are independent in the cast. Yes. So hip dysplasia has similar treatments, and look at the babies. Oh, so those braces, we got into those later on, but hip
Oh my
dysplasia
God.
is very similar, but the cast goes all the way up to like the top of their hips, and then there's an opening where you have to like tuck a diaper in. So parents of babies with hip dysplasia, oh sheesh, like that's really tough, you know. So I was like, count my blessings. At least we have just club feet on both of her legs.
How
you
long
know?
did the whole process take?
Whole process? I mean, she's 5.5 now, and I think it was January she got cleared finally. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so, but in the beginning, it's a lot. It's every single week you have to go all the way back down there, you know, and it's a whole day of travel or like a day and a half, depending on if you have to spend the night. And we did that for the first few months. And then she got her first surgery, or first 2 surgeries. She got her Achilles tendon cut, and then they stretch it. And then they put a cast on for 3 weeks that time. And then after that, if it, corrected enough, because at first they're trying to straighten out her feet to go like point back down. And then they work on getting them to go up like to the 90 degrees. And so after that, then she was in those little like snowboard braces, where it's like the boots that strap on and then the bar in between. And she had to be in those for 23 hours a day.
It's like prison, dude.
It's gnarly.
That was terrible.
Yeah. And then, graduates from 23 hours a day to 17 hours a day, then to 12 hours a day, then to just nighttime. And when right before her second birthday, she relapsed. And so she had to get the surgery done again and get put into cast for 3 weeks again. And this is in the middle of like a DIY kitchen remodel. So I've got this 2-year-old with full leg casts, and she's heavy now. Those casts, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She's heavy. I'm in there like trying to paint cupboards and redo my countertops. And I'm like,
This is crazy.
yeah.
So no wonder you started getting into influencing.
Yeah, well, and
You're like, I need to fucking do something.
Totally. And what it was that I couldn't go back to work, because I was like, I can't, like, there is a lot of special care that went along with all of this, like every single day. And so I'm like, we have to figure out how to make this work. And before we had her, and before we knew she had club feet and everything, I was like, yes, I'm going back to work. Of course I am. Like, we can't afford for me to not, and so then life happened and the plans changed and we just had to figure out how to roll with it. And I was on disability for a really long time because during the birth, I pushed for 2.5 hours, but then she got stuck. And when I birthed her head, they like realized that she was not in a good condition. And so they pressed the red button on the wall. A team of nurses come in, they're like on the bed, and they performed,
Were you alone during this, or was your husband?
oh my gosh. No. Okay. So this was during the time when it was like very scary of being like, you might
Right.
have to give birth alone, or maybe you could have like a +1. And my mom is like, oh, my ride or die. And my mom's also helped birth like 14 babies. She's gone to doula classes. So this was like, no question, my mom's always going to be in with me for every birth, And it was so heartbreaking that like, I'm going to pick my husband, but I was like, my mom, but at least I had my husband.
One person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank God I had him, and thank God he didn't like test positive for COVID or anything because, or, a false positive or something, because then I would have been completely by myself. Oh, I can't even imagine that. It's so horrible.
Okay. So the baby was, I distracted you though. So the baby was coming out not in good shape.
Oh yeah.
And it put you on, it disabled you somehow.
Yes. So they had to do a shoulder dystocia, which is like almost like layman's terms, CPR on your stomach. And the nurses are on the bed on top of me, 2 of them, and they are pushing the baby out like from my stomach and like pushing on my pubic bone to get her out. And so they finally birthed the baby. Which
Jesus,
wait,
I'm
no, you
sorry
guys
for
get
laughing.
this.
I just don't know what else to do.
No.
I can just see him being like,
It gets worse.
there's more.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit. But and so with shoulder dystocias, there's a high likelihood of the baby breaking their collarbone or their shoulder, which thank God that didn't happen because my baby's already in 2 full casts. Can you imagine if she had like a cast on her upper body? Going to the grocery store, people probably like, call CPS on her.
I'd be like, did you drop your kid?
Get that
like
mother.
10 times? Like, what happened to that baby? Which I got that enough.
You're a terrible
but-
mother.
But I was like, oh, thank God that didn't happen. But that separated my pubic bone. So I had a pubic bone separation, which is...
God damn.
I didn't even know you
dude.
could separate a pubic bone.
yeah, neither did I. Until I was like, why can't I walk? For 9 months.
Holy cow.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
And then, and it
Did
was...
you have to be in a cast too?
I fucking wished I was. I was like, what can we do for this? And turns out pretty much nothing. It's just one of those injuries that has to heal on its own, and it takes up to like 18 to 24 months. And and so they did finally get me into physical therapy for it after 6 months because it was COVID. Everything slowed down, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can like not walk, like, and I have a special needs baby. Like it was insane. And so yeah, that's. I forgot how we got to here, but that was my injury from.
So your baby has made a full recovery now?
Yeah. So she, I believe it was like January or February of this year, we took her to, there's more.
There's more.
So she relapsed right before her second birthday, and she had to go get the surgeries cast on for 3 weeks again. And then during this whole time, she's doing the nighttime braces and all of that. And then when I got pregnant with my second in 2022,
You had another one?
I had another.
You just jumped right back in there, huh?
Oh
You
my
said,
gosh.
Oh, dude.
It can't be any worse than that first
That would have been
rodeo,
one and
dude.
done for me,
It
dude.
can get worse.
Oh no, dude. Oh no.
Disclaimer, motherhood is beautiful. You should do it. Okay, let me just briefly jump into it does get worse. So I had my first baby 2020. 2021, I had my first miscarriage in October. And then 2022 in October, like damn near on the anniversary of my first one, I had my second miscarriage. And I was just like done. I remember like one time full blown having a mental breakdown, and I like threw a cup at the wall and it shattered, and I'm just like screaming at my husband like, I'm never gonna do this again. Like I was so angry at like the world.
You're just like, stay away from me.
Dude, yeah, I was like full blown mental breakdown. And then my next cycle, I found out I was pregnant again.
He didn't stay away from you.
Yeah, I'm like,
That guy don't listen, dude.
oh my God. I'm like, yeah.
Persistent. Hey.
Yeah, it turns out the pull-out method is not 100% effective. But no, and I got pregnant again, and I was like really, really nervous, because the first time around, obviously we had so much going on, and then the next two times I lost the baby really early on, and and which I think there's no good way to do it, but it's like, well, I'd rather it be early on than later on, and but I just had the weirdest feeling this whole pregnancy, and I was like, something is wrong, and I know something is wrong. And, everybody's like, just try to stay calm, this and that. And
that's got to be hard too, because you had such a traumatic thing with your firstborn that you like, it's probably automatically in you. Like, I'm panicking because of that experience.
Totally.
But it was deeper than that. It was like, I kind of know.
Yeah. And I kept trying to tell myself like, I just experienced so much deep trauma and then got pregnant too soon. Like I'm not even like healed from that, and, I was about 6 or 8 weeks pregnant, and I got really, really, really sick. And it was like this horrible cough that you're like coughing your lungs out, like literally 150 times an hour. And I started experiencing cramping, and all this stuff. I'm like, oh shit. So I went into the midwife, and they sent me immediately over to the emergency room to get an ultrasound. And the ultrasound tech was like, look, I'm not like supposed to say anything to you, but she's like, you can't lift anything, you can't cough, and she's like, the sac is separating from your uterine wall.
Why can't she say something? I'd be like, you see some shit, say some shit.
Which she did, thank God, because ultrasound techs are not supposed to give you a diagnosis. They're supposed to send it to the doctor. Yeah.
And then the doctor tells you.
Yeah. But she was like, look, you have to be so careful. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. But for when I have a toddler and I'm coughing, and so I was like so on edge, and but I got better, everything worked out, but I still had this weird feeling. And because of our first experience, they sent us straight to UCSF this time for our 20-week ultrasound, because they have like higher level machines there. And I was just like, okay, this is it, we're gonna find out what's wrong, and I'm like, and over the last few years, I'd had multiple friends and people that I grew up with that had babies with very severe like organ birth defects, and that they lost their babies at like 6 to 8 months pregnant, and it like really fucking tough stuff. And so I was just like, what is wrong? And ultrasound comes, everything's fine. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. And like, I didn't tell anybody I was pregnant for the first 20 weeks. I hid the pregnancy. And, because I was like, I don't want to announce this, and
Understandably.
and I like didn't want to love the baby. I didn't want to connect with this baby. And I was finally like, okay, maybe I'm in my own head, maybe this is just my old trauma speaking, and I can just relax now and love this baby and enjoy the process and tell people about this. And then at our next appointment at Shriners for my older daughter, I'm wearing this like big oversized like flannel jacket, like, almost exactly like that one actually.
Yeah, mine.
And we go get.
Men can get pregnant now.
Drew's pregnant, everyone.
Yay! Congratulations.
really
Good
did.
luck to you.
I know. Now I'm having second thoughts.
It's too late.
It really did a lot over my hair and
The
nails.
pull-out method didn't work for him either.
Oh man. But then at our next appointment for my older daughter down at Shriners, they're like, okay, look, she's relapsed again, but also we've, been wondering if she was developing this, but she has a muscle growth defect that we are very sure of now. And she's going to need major surgeries, and it's going to be like 4 months in casts and getting all these surgeries done. And I was just like, oh, this is that feeling. It was the wrong baby that something was wrong with. But I was like, when are we talking? Are we talking like in a couple months, like this fall, or like next year? And they're like, yeah, definitely, probably like August. And I was like, August? And I opened my jacket and they could see my stomach. And I'm like, well, I'm due August 22nd. And they were like, oh my God. They're like, okay. Oh,
Girl,
no.
go ahead and button that back up.
Yeah,
Jesus
they're
Christ.
like, all right. They're like, we're gonna give you a minute to
One thing at a
process
time,
this.
lady.
Yeah, and they were just like this. Okay, like buckle up. This is not gonna be easy. And they were able to push it back. Let's see, it was like 3 or 4 weeks, because at first they were gonna have to schedule her surgeries or her like first surgeries and starting it 2 days after my baby was born, after our due date. And I was like, oh my God.
How is she relapsing? Is it just going back to what it was? Because that's just where it naturally wants to be.
So it's either her feet were turning inwards and she was like getting pigeon-toed, which we would kind of be able to see happening when she would start tripping a lot. You could see it in her gait when she's running. And it's also when her Achilles is getting too tight and, she's not able to like flex her foot up all the way. And so they were able to schedule it a few weeks after my other baby was born. And so, for a few weeks, we just had this like magical, like, is this what normal people get to experience, just being a family, for a few weeks. And it was really nice. And then it was the absolute hardest time in my life because, the other thing is, I'm an influencer. That is so cool, right? Well, I didn't get maternity leave or any state funding during that time. So in the hospital before I gave birth, 2 hours before I gave birth, I'm on my phone sending emails in between contractions, and 5 a.m. the next morning, I'm back on my phone working again. And I had to work my ass off that whole time because we have so many expenses with travel and medical care. And so I have a brand new baby. I'm healing from postpartum, which thank God the second birth was a breeze. I learned so much.
No broken pubic bones. And
No.
club feet and
Nothing. No.
How was it still COVID-y or were they relaxing by then?
They were way more relaxed. I got to have my parents in there, which I was like, oh my God, my dad is such a like jokester, and always just likes to like cracking jokes and like be like the life of the party. And I was like, I hadn't told, my mom knew she was in there. My husband was in there. And my dad, like when I was in early labor, like he came in and him and I had no conversations about it, like whether he was allowed in the room at all, and he just
He's
like,
all, hey, how's it going in here?
he did. And I was like, all right, he can be in here, and then, for now, and I'll see how the night progresses and how I'm feeling. And at one point, my parents, I was like, you guys, we're going to be here all night. My last labor was like super long, like go get food, go to dinner, like it'll be fine. And all this and that. And so they go and I text my mom and I'm like, look, you can tell Dad. He can be in the room, but he had damn well better not crack a joke, try to make a nurse laugh, try to make me laugh.
Yeah.
No, this is
talk at
serious
all.
business, Larry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
seriously.
Don't
I
fucking
was,
say a word.
No, don't say it.
I don't want to even hear you.
Yeah, I was like,
You better not breathe funny.
oh God, no. Or God forbid you crunch on a chip, your ass is out the door. I can't. Oh my God. But oh,
He's
God.
all,
He wouldn't. No, they know that's like my number one, like irritable. I'm like, oh, now I'm a bitch for the rest of the day because you decided to eat a chip in front of me. You're like,
because you went and made mouth noises that I can't stand.
you put this upon yourself.
You made me be like this.
Dude, totally. And so, yeah, I told her that. I was like, if you tell him, like, this is my space, like, nobody's disrupting my peace. Like, and she was like, oh my God, like, he was like so like honored to hear that, you know, that he was like, he didn't think he was allowed in the room. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like,
You got one chance,
you got
Pops.
what? Yeah. And I swear to God, I've never seen that man sit so still and be so quiet in my whole freaking life. And he just sat on that couch, you know.
That's
and
how bad he
even-
wanted it.
I know.
You know what I
And,
mean? He's all.
and it was
cool.
so special because he's
all am I blinking loud?
yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. And yeah, and so both of my parents got to be there. It was super special, and I was really happy that they were. Which I know some people are like, you had your dad in the room, and I'm like, well, birthing bodies, that's not my body. That's a different space and time, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was just an experience, you know. And so, yeah.
How
That's
cool.
really
I would imagine, like, from him watching you be birthed to you giving birth, that was some full circle stuff for you.
Yeah, it totally was. And it, like, he's super close with my first daughter, but it was COVID and they didn't get to be, because nobody knew what the right thing to do was, you know, so they didn't get to like be there all the time when she was a brand new baby. And then the second time around, my husband had to go back to work early on because he had to save time off for all the major surgeries a few months later. And I'm trying to work. I have a newborn, I have a toddler in cast. And so my dad ended up coming down and living with us in my garage the whole time. For
Was he allowed to crack
months.
jokes then?
He was. I allowed it.
Yeah, all right.
I allowed it. I was like, all right.
All right, I'll allow it.
We need a little bit of comedic humor right now. But he ended up being the like 100% primary caregiver for the baby while I took care of my older daughter that whole time. And so he was just like, oh my God, like so bonded with
That's
my
so
my
great.
baby because I would literally like feed her, pass her back off, you know, and then after a few months, my milk dried up and we had a bottle feeder, which my first one I breastfed for 2.5 years. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend that.
That seems to be the thing, though, dude.
Get away.
Oh, damn, dude.
It was
2.5 years.
I mean,
Yeah, like I-
He was talking, huh? He was like, mama, or she.
Yeah, dude.
If they're
Full-
old enough to
full
ask for the
senses.
milk, it's kind of like,
Oh, I was, which I gave her a little bit of a break because I'm like, she didn't take a pacifier bottle. Like I was her sole comfort during
Yeah.
all these like major surgeries
she had a
and
rough-
all this stuff, you know.
a rough first 24, you know?
Oh God, but by you know, I was like, get this fucking baby off of me, you know. It's
You're all-
get this
Yeah.
kid. She's a kid, you know. I'm like, yeah.
Give me my tits back, kid.
Oh my God, yeah. But so then the second one, you know, and so then he was so bonded with her and it was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And like, thank God he was there because I was like the worst mental state of my entire life during this time. And I'm like, truly don't know if I would have survived it if he wasn't there. It was so insane.
Good job, Grandpa.
Fuck
Yeah, shout out to Gramps.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What did you do for yourself when you were in that crazy mental state? Was it just like survival mode and like,
Yeah, it really was. And honestly, like both my husband and I were in absolute survival mode.
yeah.
And so right now we've been together for almost 13 years. And so this was like, you know, a couple years ago. But at the time, you know, everybody always looked at us and was like, you guys have the perfect relationship, like our whole relationship. And people would, like our friends and family would be like, gosh, I just like wish I had a love like yours. And I'm like, dude, I wish you did too, because like we really have it going on, you know, like we've been each other's best friends. We do everything together. Like we are so in love. We're honest with each other. We treat each other well. And, you know, since parenthood, we just kind of had a rough go the whole way through, you know, a lot of things happen. And, the dynamic changes so much when you have a kid, and it's like your bandwidth doesn't get any bigger. It just gets more full, and you've got to learn how to roll with that and how to, you know, what are our roles and responsibilities now? Like it changes. And during that time, we were both absolutely in survival mode. Also, like we were so broke, you know, like my mom, she was at home and she was like working so crazy hours, and she's like helping me pay my bills every single month. Like, thank God for my parents. Like we truly would have like emotionally and financially not survived this without them. And so, you know, my husband and I were like separately and together are struggling so badly. And then it just got to the point where we were in such survival mode and like always so stressed, and like the kids are always screaming or something's going on, or, you know, it was just so insane. And like just the stress of having your kid have to go through these crazy ass surgeries, we completely lost each other. And it was, let's see, 2 springs ago now. So it was like 2 years ago now. We were just like 2 complete strangers living in the same house, just trying to like get through each hour. And, by the time that my daughter got through her medical treatments and she had to learn how to walk again, she's had to learn how to walk 3 times in her life. Man. And so, you know, we've got this like, it was just insane, you know? And so by the time we like got through it and we're like, okay, like,
who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was so weird. And, you know, everybody from the outside just looks at him like, you guys are handling this so well, you know, you got it. And I'm like, no, I think we're going to get a divorce. And they're like, what? No, you'll be fine. And I'm like, no, you have no idea, you know? And it was,
You didn't share any of that on your socials or anything like that? Struggle with
so it finally got to the point where it was like, this doesn't even feel real telling him how I feel, but it was like, I think we should separate. And he was like, I think we should too. And I was just like, fuck. Okay. You know, and I'm like, and we ended up separating. And, you know, he moved out to his sister's house because he was like, you can have the house, you know, and we'll figure this out as we go. And I'm like, well, I can't afford the house. You're still paying the mortgage and you move out, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, damn it, you're a good guy. Shit. You know? And, but yeah, I totally did share all this, you know, and not like, and I made it very, very, very clear on my social media. I was like, look, this is what I'm going through. And I just want to say, like, him and I are, he's a good guy. He didn't cheat. He didn't lie. He didn't steal. He doesn't have a gambling problem. You know, nothing bad ever happened. He doesn't hit me. He doesn't yell at me. Like, we are just 2 people who are good people who are grown apart. And this is like what we're going through. And so I definitely was always very mindful of being like, as I'm sharing what I'm going through, like I'm never dragging this man, because for one, he's the father of my children. And like, he's a great dad and he's a good guy and he's like still respectful to me through this whole process, which, whoo, I'm really glad I chose that road, because we did get back together, you know? Thank God.
Might have been different if you would have been like,
you would have burned the fucker down. Huh?
Yeah, totally. And so, you know, and it was, I don't know how long we were separated, but like a month and a half or a month or so. And, you know, and during this time, for a few months before we separated and the whole time during, I was like, I'm going to work on myself. And I started doing like running in the mornings. I started working out more. I started eating healthier. I started doing like morning affirmations and manifesting and, you know, like morning ginger shots, trying to support my cortisol levels and like really like heal myself spiritually and physically. And I ended up losing like 30 pounds over a few months. And like, I was glowing. Like, this is the weirdest thing, but like, I would walk into a grocery store and it was like a magnet. And it truly, like, I could feel like my energy on certain days. I was like, oh my God, I'm glowing right now. And then I would just like walk through a grocery store and every single person would like just gravitate towards me and like smile or like want to have a conversation. And I was just like, dude, I think right now I'm like energetically like in a really good place finally, you know? And like it was so good that like I was able to like spread that literally to everybody around me. And I remember one time my friend was like, you are literally like human sunshine. And I was like, oh my God, wait, that's weird because I feel like that sometimes, you know? And
That's rad.
and it was during that time that, you know, we've separated and kids are going back and forth, and we kind of just realized like, what the hell are we doing? Like, oh, and the other thing too is that when we separated, people like, oh, do you guys like fight a lot? Or like, does it ever get physical? And we're like, no, we don't even argue. We don't yell at each other. And they're like, what? I came from an abusive relationship where we fuck people, you know, fucked each other up all the time. And I'm like, oh God, no. Like we don't even yell at each other. And they're like, why are you divorcing? You know, and I'm like, no, I don't know, man. And so we kind of realized like, we're not the problem. Life was just so hard and so heavy that we both broke. And it's one of those times where, like, rare times in your marriage where, you know, sometimes you're 10%, sometimes you got to be 90. And we were both running on empty, like completely empty. And we had nothing to give to ourselves or to each other. And so, you know, we took some time. We were like, oh my God, actually, you're great. And I miss you, you know, like, can we do this thing? And it was so cool. One day he called me. It was both of our days off, and the kids were with my parents that weekend, and he knew that they were there. And he calls me in the morning and he's like, hey, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, you know, just like gonna go to the gym or whatever. He's like, cool. Like, I was just thinking about like, you know, going to Santa Rosa and maybe going to like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and maybe the mall and maybe a thrift store. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. No, those are all my favorite places. Like, what is going on? You don't ever want to go there. And he's like, I don't know. I was just seeing if maybe you would like want to go with me. And I was like,
Maybe I could buy you a Cinnabon or something.
dude, I was like, hell yeah, I want to go. You know, and it was this just amazing day of being like, I know he's trying, you know, like he's really trying to like fill my cup. And he knows these are the things and places I love to go. Look at everything and pick everything up and touch it, you know, and just walk around. And we ended up having the best day together, and we had so much fun. And it was like the best first date. And we were at, you know, eating lunch together and having so much fun. And we're just like, are we ready to like get back together? And I was like, yeah. And, you know,
He's like, 'cause my sister's house sucks.
oh man, dude, you know, thank God for them. But yeah, he's like, it was like a temporary thing, you know, because his sister was like, do not rent a place, you guys. Do not do that yet. One of you come stay here. She's like, I don't care which one of you it is, you know, because I'm super close with her too. And her and her husband, and they were like, you guys don't, and they both come from divorces, you know, they have a blended family now. And they're like, don't make anything permanent or get a 6-month lease somewhere yet. Like, one of you come stay here. And but you know, they got 4 kids, they got a bunch of dogs, they got a whole farm, they've got all this shit going on. And you know, one of the kids had to move out of their room so that Justin could stay in there with our 2 kids. And he's like, oh, it was a lot going on, you know.
That's rad, dude, that you guys made it work.
We did. And it's been so much better too, because we lost it all, you know? And so I really think that what made us lose it was we were each so like deep in our own sorrow and our own sadness, and poor me, that we couldn't even see each other's. And it was like, I was so resentful of having to like take on all these like mothering tasks, you know, and like the mental load that a mom carries is so insane. Like, I know when all the doctor's appointments are, I know what size clothes and diapers they're in now. Like, I know this, I know, you know, I know everything. I know how many milligrams this kid is supposed to have of Tylenol and how many that's supposed to have of Tylenol. And, you know, and it's like the dad doesn't know that usually, you know, and I just like started building so much resentment about that. But then from his point of view, he's like, I just go and I work and I work and I work and I'm trying to support this family. And I feel like we're so far behind, like every paycheck, as soon as we get it, like we're having to back pay bills, you know, and it's all gone. He's like, I'm like grinding myself down every day. And it feels like for nothing. We're never getting ahead. And like nobody appreciates it because I'm sitting there feeling resentful that he's not able to help me more, you know? And he's like, he's feeling resentful that I wasn't like expressing gratitude for how freaking hard he works every single day, you know? And it's really, it took a lot of like, okay, Courtney, we are both humans and like both of our feelings are totally valid. Like I don't ever want to be wrong, you know, most of the time I'm right. So I'm truly,
If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right.
Is she your counterpart, dude?
No, it's
Are you
weird.
guys brother and sister?
It's weird.
Oh, there's something going on.
'Cause I'm always right too. And so
I know this.
yeah.
I already know this.
But you know, but then it took a lot of like, oh shit, like maybe I'm not right, or maybe we're both right, and maybe we're both wrong at the same time.
Did you hear that, Drew?
No, what'd she say?
You're always right. You're always right.
You're gonna have
Thanks,
to re-listen to this
Courtney.
one, bud.
Welcome.
Courtney's coming on again next week.
Nice.
I'm fired.
No, bud. Love you. Can't shit my favorite turd.
But, you know, and it was really hard accepting that. But I think that that's what saved our marriage, because now instead of holding that resentment constantly and just like letting it build in the moment, if somebody's has a tone, you know, and you're just like, hey, I don't like, hold on, pump the brakes. Like, why are you talking to me with that tone right now? Like, remember, I'm your friend, not your enemy. And we both put each other in check, you know, in the moment, and we'll talk about it, hash it out right then and there. And we always have done this thing called hitting the reset button, because I'm really bad at like emotionally spiraling and then like feeling shame and guilt for like having this blow up and like causing a problem. And then I feel just so awful. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm just like spiraling and I can't pull myself out. So we're like, okay, hit the freaking reset button. Let's hug for 30 seconds. One of us is going to crack a joke. Let's laugh. Let's fucking move on with life, because guess what? Life is short and shit happens. And I know that I would regret it if we were just fighting over nothing and something happened to one of us. You know, you could walk out and, you know, a car speeding by and hits you and your life changes indefinitely. And it's like, it really took a lot of big experiences like that to be like, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to spend my life fighting with you. I want to spend my life like working on myself and working on us with you. And that's what I want. And that's what we did.
And it sounds like you really found a good way to take care of yourself as well. in all of
yeah.
this, right?
Yes.
Like you're saying you're glowing, you're finally taking care of yourself, finally filling your cup up yourself, and have room for that again. Right?
Oh, totally.
And did he kind of find the same thing? As he had found ways to like take care of himself? And
A little, yeah, he picked up a little bit of like those things that, you know, I did. And then he is super big into the gym. Like the gym is fueling his mental health. And so it was like really figuring out a good schedule for us to be like making sure he has time to go do that. And he gets up early in the morning and goes to the gym before work. So he's like starting his day off right. You know, it's out of the way. So he's not taking away from family time in the evenings. And, you know, we finally found a rhythm that works for us.
Sweet.
And let's see, at that time I was, you know, content creator, all this stuff. And I was like, how can I help other people? Because my main following and like main people that I want to serve on social media is mothers and women. And I was like, damn, I like literally saved my own whole life and like lost all this weight. I feel great. I'm healthier. My marriage is healthier. I'm a better mom now. I can be more present. I'm a better friend. And I ended up taking everything that I learned from social media and like implemented in my life. And I made a 60-page PDF guide, like how to every single step with like worksheets, ways to track it. And
damn, that's fucking cool.
thanks.
Good job.
Thanks.
That's rad.
And then I just talked about it online and was like, send me your email address and I will send this to you. Like, I'm not selling this. I truly want other people to feel what I felt and be able to change their lives like how I changed mine. And so I shared it with like hundreds of people and it was super cool. And then my videos went like mega viral for a while after that. And when that happens, people go visit your page and then they scroll down, and then I got a bunch more people wanting the guide from that. And so I was like, damn, dude, like I really helped a lot of people. And people were like, you should sell it. And I'm like, I could, but like, I don't want to. Like, maybe I'm just earning some like soul karma right now. Like,
Totally.
I
Do
just
you really
wanna,
need to?
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you need
Yeah,
to?
totally. Well, yeah, I was broke as fuck. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, you want to buy it? How much you got in your pocket right now?
100% accepting donations. Here's my Venmo. But yeah, no, I definitely needed to. But I was like, I feel called to just share this. And it was really great.
So through all of this, you were doing social media and building. And so you said you started on TikTok?
I did. Yeah. So in 2021 is when, whoa, we're circling way back to one of the first questions now. So
See how that happens? It just comes,
in 2021, I was on disability. Oh, that's why I started talking about the pubic bone separation. Okay.
Yeah.
And, but my disability ran out and I was like, I've got 2 months of like finances covered left, or I have to go back to work full time. And so I was like, well, oh my God, I got to figure out something to do from home. And in May, I got COVID and I got it bad. Oh my God. At one point, my husband like came into the room to check on me and he thought I was dead.
yeah.
He was literally. I was
JJ liked that
alive.
one.
He's all,
I was like, oh
almost
my
dead.
God.
She said dead.
But thankfully I was alive and I pulled through. But during that time, I was like bedridden for 10 days. And I was like, what am I going to do with this time where,
in 2021 that happened to you?
yeah, May of
Dude,
2021.
I had the same shit. Yeah. 10 days of dead.
Oh, it was rough.
Wait, how did you get it? Were you at the Conor McGregor fight too?
No, I wish that's how I got it. That would have been dope. That would have been pretty worth
I
it.
had 20,000 people screaming in my mouth.
Yeah, no mask is going to cover that.
Vegas is like, no, that's not real. And we're like, yeah, that's not real.
20,000 people home with COVID the next day.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoopsies.
How come I can't smell my shampoo?
It's unscented.
Yeah.
It'll be
bananas.
fine.
I've had a 3-day hangover. This is weird.
Oh, man. But then during that time when I was really sick and I was like in bed, not having to do anything with the kid, the house, I was like, okay, I am going to learn how to be a content creator. So many people online are doing this right now, out of COVID. And it was like a new career that was really becoming more mainstream. And there's influencers where you get paid to promote products on your page. So you get the product, you make a video, you share on your pages with your followers. But there's UGC content, which is user generated content, where very similar, the brand sends me products, I make videos with it, and then I just send them the video and they use it on their social media, their advertising, they could run ads on it, or their organic social media, they could put it on their website, whatever it is that they need. And then, so you don't have to have a following at all to do that. You just have to be good at making content. And I was like, well, I grew my TikTok to 25,000 followers and I was like, I'm going to learn how to monetize this. And I was like, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to buy a course online, that this girl who does this is hyping up. So I paid $150 for it. And I was like, this is risky for me because I'm like running out of money and like out of options. So I was like, I'm going to do it. And I invested in it. And the course was like, shit. It was, I was like, oh, fuck.
Well, here's a 60-page PDF that you can download.
It was, yeah, because she was like, this is this many pages PDF, but it would be like a page with like a big picture and like 3 like bullet points. And I was like, oh my God. But it was the bare bones of what I needed. And I was like, all right, I paid for this. I invested in this. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to take this, do exactly what it says, research every bit, learn as much as I can, and implement every single step. And during those 10 days, I built the foundation for my career as a content creator. And then it took off. And So since then, I've worked with over 300 brands. I've worked with a handful of multi-billion-dollar companies, and and then simultaneously, I was working on my organic content on my page, especially my Instagram, because at the time, my TikTok, I grew it organically, but then it turned into like an influencer page, and I just like pulled a 180 on all my followers, and I was like, oh God, I feel like a sellout, but like I have to do this to survive right now,
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like a lot of the videos did really well and everything. But when I started my Instagram, I was like, I don't know if I want to do like paid content or like influencer stuff on there. And I did a few times, but then I blew that page up organically and like being like way more like, this is me. This is who I am, like showing all the parts of my life of like the messy house, the funny parts, the hard parts, everything. And so I was really, really protective over my Instagram as it went on. And then it blew up, and I've had over 275 million views on my content, between the two over the last few years. And it was a great career, and I had some like really big contracts, and it was cool, but it was a lot of fucking grind. Because if I had a manager, that would have been great. Somebody to be like, here, I'm going to do all the outreach. I'm going to do all the negotiating. I'm going to do all the pitching. Here's this brand deal. Here's a product,
Because that's how you make money on Instagram is brand deals.
Yeah, because Instagram doesn't pay you for views anymore. They used to, and I wish they did, because I would like be able to pay off my house with the videos that went viral, with like 80 million views on them. And I'm like, I don't even want to calculate how much that would have been. It makes me sad.
Don't do it.
I'm not. Because people are, people watch my page and they're like, dude, are you guys like just swimming in the cash right now from like Courtney's content? And Justin's like, no. What? No. And I'm like, dude, I wish, but.
Yeah, he's like, where are you hiding all that loot?
Yeah, I'm like, it's, I don't know, in the abyss. I don't know where it is. But, and so I just really kind of started like wanting to separate myself from it, because it was such a drain, and I had no boundaries with family time and work time. Like I had to work literally 24/7.
Yeah.
I'd be up in the middle of the night working. I'd be filming in the evenings. I'd be filming on weekends. And it was like a stressful thing for our family. Me being like, I need to film. Like, the kids need to be quieter. They need to get out. Or God forbid, I had to put a kid or the dog in one of the videos, and they're not like working with me, And so I got to the point where I was like, no more kid videos. Like, I don't want kid products. Like, unless I can be in it just as a parent talking about it. Cause like, it's just too much, and it's hard. And I also got to the point where I was always very strong with my boundaries of, I don't post locations. I don't post pictures of like a school sweatshirt or like, this is the town we're in. I don't tag local businesses unless it's on my close friends' stories. I don't post pictures of my kids in their diapers. I don't post pictures of my kids' feet. I was very hyper aware of like safety of my kids online as I started to grow my page. And then I finally got to the point where I was like, this is kind of scary, And so.
Yeah, because I would imagine you get some weirdos, right? And just people.
Yeah, which thankfully, like, I didn't really get. One time I had a guy call my baby ugly, and I was like, you're so weird, dude. You're a grown-ass dude calling a baby ugly. Like, fuck, you need therapy, man. Like, is this...
Who called you ugly?
Yeah, and like...
Who hurt you?
Yeah, somebody told you were an ugly baby, and now you're just out here, like, shaming babies? Like, dude, it doesn't get more like, this is a you problem, not a me problem than that, Like, she's a baby. For one, she was adorable. Like, and not even just me saying that, like, she was a cute baby. I was like, all right, weirdo. But I would hear a lot of like stories of people experiencing like weirdos, and then I would see people like posting pictures of their kids like naked, running around. Like, this is so cute, and I'm like, dude, that's the kind of shit you like send to like your mom and sister like in a text. Like, look at the cute baby, But do not put that online. Like, do not. And as I started to grow, I would like, people would ask me like, oh, I want to learn about this. I want to do this. Like other moms wanting to make money from home. And I was always like, okay, look, be safe. get a freaking PO box, because you're going to get a lot of brands like and people wanting to work with you. And if it's a legit brand, like, yeah, that's fine. Or once you like work with them, yeah, you could send your home address to send the products to. But in the back of my mind, I was paranoid as fuck. I was like, what if this is just a weirdo pretending to be a brand that watches my daughter online and wants my address? And because they're sitting there talking about this brand, they send you a random website of kids' products, and they're like saying they represent this company, and then they have your fucking address, and they know where your child lives.
Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. So I was very, very like, look, do not just think this is some like free willy-nilly thing where everybody is good, because this is the real world, and you're so exposed. And so, yeah, that's one thing that I always try to be very aware of. And even when I like would look back at videos on my TikTok from before I like really, blew up, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I posted this picture of, a video of like my daughter holding a baby chicken, and she wasn't wearing a shirt. And I was like, but she's a baby. But it's like, oh my God, what was I thinking, And so, yeah, I'm very hyper aware about that. And then after a while, I just kind of like got the ick, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to just be real and like have, like, I had built such a large following at that point, and I was so protective of it on Instagram. TikTok, she doesn't exist. Don't look at that. This shit's embarrassing. I need to delete the whole thing, because it's all like salesy videos now,
Uh-huh.
I mean, the original ones, I had some banger content, like hilarious shit. So good, like I remember one time a video of my brother went viral with my baby, and he was like the hot Uncle Cody on TikTok. Like, he was like trending for a while. And then the bat house video, there's a house that we all thought there were bats like swarming, and they went into the chimney. They were actually chimney swallows, but it went like mega viral on TikTok. And so, it was like cool, fun stuff that went viral. But with my Instagram, I was like, I think I'm done with this. I just want to be done. And then when I got used as an influencer on the Miami trip is when I fully was like, I think I'm done. Like, should we get into the Miami trip?
I don't know. Do you want to? Maybe we should skip that one.
I'll breeze through it. I fly to, okay. Oh shit. Okay. I don't know. It's going to be a slow breeze, because it's kind of.
Okay. Cliff notes. Okay. I got a boob job last October. Turns out Miami, dude, $2,500 out the door for boobs. If you've researched it in California, it's like $8,000 to $14,000. So I was like, yeah, dude, sign me up. I tell my best friend about it, because I'm like, hey, can I pay for you to fly over and be my caregiver? Because like I have to have someone to like pick me up. And she's like, wait, what? I want to get mine done too. So I was like, oh shit, now we still need a caregiver, And so we ended up. Long story short, 10 of you ended up going to Miami to get boobs.
Dude, I wish there was
20 titties.
Dude, yeah, just a bag
You get a
full of
group, right?
titties.
You
Yeah,
get a
I
group, right?
wish. I freaking wish, dude. But and so we have there were some issues finding caregivers, this and that, and then it got down to the last minute because the caregiver we had didn't work out. And so I put it on my close friend's Instagram story. I was like, look, I know this is insane. We already have these surgeries booked. Our caregiver situation fell through. We need a caregiver. You have to be female. You have to have a real ID. And one of my friends, he's gay, but he messaged me and he was like, oh my gosh, like I wish, like I would totally love to go, but like you said, it has to be female. And I was like, oh, I just meant like, I'm not going to have a straight man fly across the country with me and like, while I'm getting this like intimate surgery. Like I feel totally comfortable and safe with you, like being there.
He's like, oh my God, Miami and boobs, count me in.
Dude, literally. And I was like, dude, this is gonna be a dope ass fun trip, like we'll make the best of it and we'll pay for everything and this and that. And my best friend brought a little dog. It's like her like little comfort soulmate dog. And very specifically said, when we're getting our surgeries done, leave the dog in the bedroom of the Airbnb. She will be fine. She's never peed in the house. He decided to get the dog out, and the dog did not like him. Dog did not want to go out. He even
This is gay friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because when her and I got our surgeries back to back, so he went back to the Airbnb to like chill for the hours that this was, and And he was like, yeah, like I went into the room and like went to grab her, but she was laying on the bed, but then she like ran into the corner. So I went and pinned her down in the corner and she got so scared that she peed all over your bed. But I grabbed her and brought her out into the living room. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? This dog's terrified of you. You literally admitted that you pinned a dog down until it peed all over the bed. And he didn't even clean up the pee for one. I was just like, oh my God. And then he's like taking all these Instagram stories with it because it was like a really luxurious looking cute dog. It's a very expensive dog, you know? And in the middle of this, she's getting her surgery first. I'm in the like pre-op room waiting. And he calls me we were texting and I called him because I hadn't heard back from him for a while. I'm like, I feel like something's wrong. And so I call him and oh my God, this is funny now. We gave him both of our mom's phone numbers so he could contact them in case of an emergency. He answers the phone and he's in a full panic. And he's like, Courtney, okay, something's happened. I just got off the phone with your mom. I'm thinking the worst. I'm thinking that one of my children or my husband has died or, you know, and I'm like, what fucking happened? What happened? He's like, I lost the dog. And I'm like, oh, thank God. But wait, what? You know, and I'm like, you are so dumb to start a conversation with a mother that way. For one, I was like, why are you on the phone with my mom? My mom must have called you with an emergency, you know? No, it was the dog. And he panicked and he called my mom because he knew my mom's like super chill lady. She's like trying to talk him down, walk him through. She was like, do not chase it. If you see it, try to get snacks, lure it in, you know? Long story short.
Lure it in.
He chased it. Chase it. This dog is terrified of him, terrified of our rental car now because he's like vroom, 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 chasing it, you know? And Jody gets out of her I don't want to say her name. My friend gets out of her surgery and she freshly out of this, she got implants and a breast lift, which this is the craziest shit, you guys. A breast lift, we found out in the pre-op, there's a 2 to 5% chance that your nipples will turn black, die, and fall off. What the fuck? I was like, excuse me, sir. Wait.
What?
That's like, she's like, fuck it. Give me let's
And
roll.
she said, okay.
I know. And
Wait, 2 to 5% chance?
Yeah. That you lose a freaking nipple. But the doctor.
That's 2 out of 100 that come back with black.
2
dead
to
nipples.
5 people out of 100. Yeah. I'm like, how many patients you see in a day? How many nips are we losing a week, guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Where's the bag of dead nips?
What number am I on this list?
Yeah. I was literally, my jaw hit the floor and I was just like, thank God I'm not getting a lift. Oh my God, I'll take all the sag. I don't give a fuck. I'm not risking it, you know? And so her surgery was very, very serious. Like, you can't mess around after that. You have to be so careful.
You want to keep the nips.
Oh, I prayed for her nips, and I told everybody, pray for the nips,
burning
guys.
sage in the
Everybody,
Pray for
yeah.
the
I was
nips.
like, we're not losing a nip, okay,
Yes,
or 2.
dude.
Dude, the doctor was all like,
This is another T-shirt idea. Pray for the nips.
dude, yeah, and you can have the like surgery scar cut out. But the people who get it, it'll be
on
very
the back, 2 to 5% of all breast lift.
dude. Yeah, it's a very niche shirt, but the people who get it will be like, I fucking see you. I see you. You're my people.
So we have keep Potter Valley moist
And save the nips.
and pray for the nip.
Pray for the nips.
Dude, oh my God. Scary shit. But anyways, her and I, freshly out of surgery, out of anesthesia, literally running around looking for the dog, this and that. We're trying to like make flyers that night, ask him to go, can you please go to Staples? We're paying for $100 for these flyers, you know, and can you just go pick them up and then like stuff them in the clear envelopes that night so that we can all go hang them up in the morning. He huffed and puffed, threw a fit about it. You know, like we were inconveniencing him, and
He's supposed to be taking care of you guys.
yes. And we like freshly out of anesthesia, surgery, breathing tubes. We're calling this dog's name. Yeah, it was it was gnarly. Her and I are running. We're all 3 running around the neighborhood separately, you know. And I looked crazy. I'm in this like post-surgery robe, and I like have these like bandages all over. I still have the like orange numbing cream all over me. And she also got chin lipo, so she has all that, and she has a
Jesus,
fucking head wrap on.
Why just do it all at once, huh? Don't stagger that shit.
Screaming this dog thing that every human we saw, like in their house, in their window, would be like, come out. And they're like, holy fuck, nicest people though. Nicest people. Everybody was so helpful.
They're probably used to it in Miami seeing that kind of.
Oh, 100%. They're like, oh, where'd you
Oh, you got the old nip and tuck from Larry, huh?
Oh,
Look at these
yeah,
dumb
dude.
California bitches that lost their dog.
Oh my
We'll
God.
pray for your nips.
Seriously, I was like, we got to find this dog in 4 days because we're flying back across the country, And so that night, he was like, oh my God, we should go to the beach tomorrow. And I was like, he's also like upset that we didn't like take him out to a nice restaurant for dinner that night, and that we were like, no, we're door dashing fucking Taco Bell, and we're back out on the streets looking for the dog, and and I'm like, all right. Oh, and also the whole time before the shit show happened, he was just like very like tagging me in every story, like wanting to be associated with me on this trip. And at the time, like I wasn't even really posting a lot about like where I was at, and what I was doing. Cause I was like, I'll share about it all after. Like people know I'm going to get this done, but and I was just like, kind of got like a feeling of being like, I feel like he's kind of just wanting to like associate with me because he thinks it's like this cool thing that I'm like an influencer. I have all these followers, all these views, all this reach. And I was like you get to be the hero that comes along with me and like helps me along this journey, doing this like cool, fun thing that I'm going to share with the world. And then when shit hit the fan, and he was literally, oh my God, you guys, he told us, he was complaining that night. He's like, my legs hurt so bad from walking. Like my legs hurt so bad. I was like, dude, my tits hurt. I just got 450 fucking cc's underneath my chest muscle that they cut open from my abdominal muscles and peeled off my body with a spatula, then shoved a couple balloons under there, and then stretched it down to sew it all up under fucking 7 layers of tissue or whatever, And I'm like, and she's hurting way worse than I am.
Look at her nips and
Her
chin.
nipples are about to fall off,
I
bitch.
was like, you need to get fuck your legs, dude. Get on your knees and pray for the nips, man. Like,
Yeah, and the goddamn dog you lost.
yeah, and meanwhile, we're in Miami. It's like thunder, lightning storming. It's insane. Also, the whole time before we were joking about alligators, before we lost this little snack of a dog.
Little gator snack.
Yeah, we're like, because I was telling him, I was like, dude, there's gators in every fucking body of water. Like driving, on an off ramp. I was like, fuck yeah, there's gators in there, you guys. There's gators. And I watch Instagram. You could throw a chicken wing in there, still water, boom, gators. Like, yeah, dog. And so I was like, this dog is fucked. Like, I don't want to say it out loud, but like, it could be already.
Maybe we are
deceased
going to the
and
beach
eaten.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Dog is no more.
yeah.
This is
I
a
was-
deceased dog.
I was like, oh man, this is one happy gator, But anyways, and so he was just like, we should like go to the beach tomorrow. And I was just like, you can go. You take the car, you go. Her and I are going to be walking around this neighborhood, hanging up signs, And then the next day, he was just so distraught from it all and like the trauma of it and the stress of it. And his legs hurt so bad that he decided that he felt like he needed to go home. And I was just like, and like, there's like an hour's worth of things that happened that I could say in between then, but I was just like, he texted my friend because they were like kind of getting into over text, and she's like, look, I've been so nice to you this whole time, and like, you're being really difficult. Like, this was all your fault. You left the fucking front door open. The Airbnb host showed us the Ring camera video footage of it. He opened the front door, took a sip of his coffee with his eyes closed, back to the door open, and dog ran out. And this was after my friend told him, like, do not open the door, like, if she's out when we're all there, because she'll try to run out, And she was scared of him the whole time. And so it was truly just all his fault. And he was, like, riddled with guilt. And instead of, like, owning up to it and, like, helping us get through this, he was like, can you ask Courtney to come outside? I need to talk to her. And I go out there, and he's like, look, I just like can't handle this. Like, I think I need to go home. Like, I'm so stressed. And I was just like, okay, like, yeah, I'm not going to keep you here. If you feel like that's what you need to do, then that is what you need to do. But we all booked the flights together and agreed on like non-refundable flights. We're all going on this trip together. Like I was like, I booked non-refundable flights. Like I can't. Because he was like, well, can you transfer the flight? Like, so I don't have to pay for it. And I was like, no, dude, remember, like, they're non-refundable. Like, there's nothing that I can do. And I was like, but I am not paying for your flight back home. Like, you we need the rental car. You have to get an Uber to the airport. Like, these are things that you're going to have to cover. If you can't cover them, like, maybe call your family, see if they can send you money, you know, whatever you need to do. But like, if you feel like you need to go home, like, want to respect your feelings, and you do what you need to do, and we will just figure it out and do what we need to do. And then, also, angel of a woman. I wish I knew her Instagram name right now, but she has a doggy daycare. She's in the neighborhood. She saw one of the flyers, and this woman is walking around the neighborhood door to door asking people if they've seen this dog. And then we encounter her as we're hanging up more flyers, and she's like, oh, are you guys the people that lost the dog? We're like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I've been like boots on the ground for like 4 hours this morning.
What the fuck?
Complete stranger.
Bless that lady.
Bless that lady, dude. And our Airbnb host, because we messaged him, you know, he was an absolute angel. He was driving around looking for the dog too, because he like lived on the back part of the house. And this woman was an angel. Like, literally for 2 days, she is in the middle of thunderstorms, running around, like, helping us find this dog. She has our phone number. She's calling us with updates. She's posting on Nextdoor. Like, she's doing all this work for 2 random ass fucking post-op Californian girls, you know? And
she did it for the dog.
she's a dude. Yeah. She's a home dog for sure. But she calls us, and this is while our caregiver has his flight scheduled for later that evening. And like, at one point we even asked him, we're like, hey, look, can you just take, because we are not supposed to be driving. We're not supposed to be moving our arms at all. And we're like, hey, can you just like go run out on Taco Bell? We'll give you a debit card. And can you get us like a 10-pack of burritos so that we could just like have something to eat on the next few days? Because we're not supposed to be driving. And he was literally like, I mean, and I was like, you know what? No, dude, it's cool. No worries. If that's too much stress for you, like, it's cool. You know?
What was his name?
No.
I'll tell you offline. I'll tell you offline.
What? You said no? No. Oh my God.
Well, see, and this whole time, even on Instagram, when I talked about what happened, you know, briefly, I never said his name. I don't want to drag him. I don't want to cause that drama.
Yeah.
Like, but I did say, like, okay, everybody, update. Like, fucking this dog's gone. Our caregiver abandoned us all the way across the country and flew home. His legs hurt. What the fuck, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to fucking ice them and rub them for you? Like,
since you brought it up,
you're gonna have to help lift me out of the bed. We couldn't sit up out of bed by ourselves. We needed help. Oh, the other funny thing is, the front door to the Airbnb, the door was like swollen because of like the drastic weather changes. And the Airbnb host was like, this is something like I have a guy coming to look at later this week, but I'll call him, see if he can come early. We could not open and close the front door to our Airbnb by ourselves. And even like before the surgery, you have to like body slam it. And we're like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna write a shitty review. Like, what the fuck is this? You know? But then our Airbnb host was such an angel that I was like, everything was amazing. 10 out of 10, you know, 10 out of 5, whatever the ratings are. But, so he left us there knowing that there are 2 females alone, post-op, not able to shut the door at night and not able to shut our door when we have to go out and drive around or go pick up food ourselves, you know? So our Airbnb host, we'd message him every night when we were all done for the night, and he would come shut our door for us and open it for us. And he was so, so sweet.
So what happened with the dog? That's what I want to know.
Dude, so this is ours. Oh, so this lady, dude, she's like calling. Oh, and the dog is named Girly, but like if you yell Girly Pop, like she'll respond to that. So this lady, she's fucking running around the neighborhood screaming it. And Jody, or my friend, is like, oh, dude, she's gonna scare the dog away because she's like, Girly Pop, Girly Pop, Girly Pop, come here, girl. You know, we're like, oh fuck, man. Like
that poor dog's like, who are all these people that know my name?
Yeah,
dude?
But she's like in contact with every single delivery driver, male person in the area, and like literally like giving updates, and they'll be like, okay, yesterday I saw the dog on this road at this time. Like, jeez. I was trying to capture it. Like, everybody in this community came together to support these 2 random ass strangers who lost a freaking dog, you know? And it was really beautiful because like at one point she calls us, and this is when our caregiver is still home. This is like 5 hours before his flight, and her and I are like clearly on the phone. She's on speakerphone. We're like trying to grab her shit, run out the door and be like, okay, where's she at? Like, where do you see her? What road is it? It's very clear. We're about to find this dog. Like, you'd think that he would be like, I can come help you look for a little bit. No. He did not come help us look. So her and I get out. I'm in this car and I'm like, turn the wheel. Literally, this is my range of motion. And I'm like, we're speeding around this neighborhood. And I'm trying to like, which road? Like, turn that way. And we were a hot ass mess. And then it has like a hatchback, and we put another random neighbor gave me an umbrella. He's like, use it, put it back on the porch before you girls leave. Like, use it the whole weekend while you're looking for the dog. Like, so nice. And we had the umbrella in the back, and it was a hatchback. And I just remember like, I got the umbrella out, and we're running around this neighborhood, and it's like a little bit of like a sketchier looking neighborhood, and we just have our phones and like our wallets in the car, and it's pouring down rain, like monsooning. And so I'm grabbing the umbrella, but then I can't close the hatchback because my arms are, I was like, oh no, I have like little T-Rex arms. And I was like, I can't close the hatchback. And I'm like, yeah, we're risking it. And like every neighbor in the whole neighborhood was like out because there's these 3 women, 2 of them like looking crazy, like friggin' Frankenstein over here. And we're running around the neighborhood screaming for this dog, like in everybody's yards. And everybody's like, we just saw her run that way. Like she's here somewhere. And we searched for hours and we could not find her. And then it was the next morning, my friend and I were like, oh yeah, a whole nother night
without your dog,
dude.
I would have been beside myself.
I know. And this whole time there's the gnarliest like lightning and thunderstorms, and she's afraid of thunder, and she's soaking wet, no food, no water. Like, I was like, dude, this dog is eaten by a gator. And this whole time my friend's husband is like having all these like satellite live images, zooming in on the areas, trying to see if he can like catch any sight of her. Like, we have more help from home all the way across the country than,
It's nuts for a little dog, dude.
Dude, it was nuts.
Holy cow.
And so the next day her and I go, let's print out more flyers. Let's go post them at the schools in the area. A lot of traffic. People maybe will have seen her. And we have to we're just like Google mapping it. And Google Maps is taking us like to these super far ass places. And we're like, oh my God. I'm like, driving down these big ass Miami roads. I'm like, oh, dude, I want to like pop a stitch, or like crash. I can't turn, And she's giving me directions on the way home because we're like, oh, we remember where we're at. And she's like, oh, turn this way. And I was like, are you sure? I think it's that way. And I turned the way that she told me to. And we end up driving like 50 blocks the wrong way. Before I was like, no, I know this is wrong. Like, let's Google it. We're super fucking far away from our Airbnb. We're both so exhausted and burnt out. And she was just like, started to like get emotional. She's like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I fucked this whole thing up. Like, I shouldn't have even brought the dog. And like, now I got you lost. And like, you're not supposed to be driving. And I was like, dude, don't even go there. Like, do not even go there. It's fine. We're like, we'll just drive the 70 blocks, back to where it's all a straight stretch, basically. Like, it's going to be fine. And then, as we get back to the Airbnb, we're like, well, let's go hang a few of these signs up by where she was sighted last in that neighborhood. And we're driving, and it was the most surreal moment. There's this little fucking girly pop running down the road in front of us. And we were both just like, oh my God. I felt like I was hallucinating. I was like, it's not real. Don't get your hopes up.
I was seeing her and she's not even there.
Yeah, I was like, it's just a cat, it's probably a cat. And then we're like, oh my God. Holy shit, that's Girly, And so, but Girly's afraid of the rental car at this point because our caregiver had like chased her down so aggressively. And like so I stopped the car. My friend is like trying to get the head wrap off so that the dog will recognize her. And we had the head wrap tied into her ponytail to like hold it back. So it's like, she's like trying to rip it off, and we're both freaking out. She's like, this is our chance. Don't blow it. Like, and she's trying to rip her hair out. And she finally gets out of the car, and she's like, Girly. And the dog's terrified, and the dog is running away from her. And so she's having to like chase after it. And they go into these like big ass bushes, and I'm just like, oh my God, please, God. God, like let this dog recognize her. And then she, after like a minute, she comes out holding it, and her and I just like started sobbing. She was holding. Yeah, seriously, I'm not even gonna. I feel like this could have been a movie. It was so weird, the whole experience. But we're driving back to the Airbnb, you know, all wrapped up in our surgical shit, and she's got this like fluffy, dirty ass dog in her lap, and we're both just like ugly crying, like holding hands. Dude, it was the biggest relief of being like, oh my God.
How many days had this dog been gone?
I think 2.5.
Wow. And it just ran around Miami for 2.5 days?
Dude.
Nobody could catch it? Nobody?
Dude, this little dog was probably just like slutting it up in
I
Miami.
know. That's what I'm saying. What was this dog doing? It didn't want to go home, dude.
Dog's all best trip of my life.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mom. I like Miami.
Yeah. I'm in Miami. Yeah. No, but I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, and then it was just us at the Airbnb and the fucking dog and just, you know, just great people in the neighborhood surrounding us and supporting us. And that lady came to, because we told her where our Airbnb is, and she came to the Airbnb. She like recognized our Airbnb host from them both looking and for the dog. And she brought the dog a dog toy. She brought us a handwritten card. She got us both these like keychains that said love. And like, and I was just like, you are such a good person. Oh my God. Like in this experience, it was like simultaneously like losing faith in humanity and just like gaining so much faith in humanity that I was like, dude, people are fucking good. Like,
Except for that gay dude you brought.
Fuck that guy, man. He was a little bit of a piece of shit, but you know, but I'm also like, bitch, Courtney, shut up. You're on a healing journey. Let's just like get that energy at arm's reach, you know? And I'm like, well, now I know the true like quality of his character, and it's not something that I want in my life and want to like share my energy with. So I was like, unfortunately, I found out the super fucking hard way, but and it cost us a ton of money. We lost so much money because of it. But I was like, you know what? Silver lining, the flight back was hella nice because we had an empty seat in our row. So we're like kicking our legs up. Like, you know, we had all this
That's the dog
space.
seat now, huh?
Yeah, dude, I was like, fine. We don't need to share a seat with you.
So that was the end of the big journey of your online stuff, huh?
Yeah, yes. And so it was really during that I was like, I think that like I opened up my like life and energy to somebody who didn't truly care for me and my well-being and like truly like my safety and my health, you know, and like just wanted to be associated with me because I've got all these followers, I get all these views, I've like worked with all these brands, and I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like, I fucking shit just the same as you. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just a regular person. Like, I know it sounds cool, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, dude, that is kind of like a weird flex that I have and like this cool like thing, you know, fun fact about me. But I'm like, oh my God, I never want to feel that again. I never want people in my life that are like, I want to be around her because of social media and like they want clout from it.
Yeah.
I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now I do accounting part time, and I'm pretty fucking broke. But I'm building up more hours. You know, as I people always like look at me. They're like, "Damn, dude, she's like balling." I'm like, everything I got during those years, I got for free, dude. And I'm like, what? No, I can't pay
Like,
for
dude,
this.
my accountant has like 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, that's rad.
Oh, wow.
So if you guys need any accounting out there,
Yeah.
you know who to contact.
Oh, you're talking about me. Oh shit. I thought you were like your actual accountant. I was like,
No, I
damn,
don't
how
have
can
an-
they monetize that? Like get free QuickBooks?
I don't
like,
have an accountant. I should,
You
though.
need
Me
one.
neither.
Maybe I can hire you as my accountant.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, now I'm just a regular mom, which I mean, I do still have one local social media client who I like love so much. And I was like, I like doing that and helping local businesses. You know, and during that time, like before that, I kind of like felt the shift that I was like, maybe I just want to do content for local businesses. And like, I know so much and I'm watching these people struggle. And I'm like, dude, like, can I fucking help you? Like, I don't even care.
What
if I have
about
to do it for
being a
free.
consultant?
Well, so I got invited to be a keynote speaker at the Women in Business, one of our Women in Business events last fall. And the previous events that I gone to, like not that many people show up, and I was like, oh shit, like what if like nobody shows up? I was like, you know what? Even if like 5 people show up, that's 5 people that I can like help teach. It was completely sold out. There's like over 40 women that showed up, and they all paid for it, which I didn't make money. Women in business made money, which I think is great because they do so much like good for the women in business in our community. But it was like so sold out that people were like standing and sitting on the floor room only. We had to like pull out every chair that was like in the place. And I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, all right, yeah, like I can make a difference in people's lives with this still. And so, yeah, I could do consulting, and a lot of people were interested in like follow-up courses, I have local businesses who were like, we'll host you for free. You can make all the money from it. And I was like, maybe I should do that,
Yeah, you got options.
Yeah.
Love it.
Damn.
So, yeah, weird, wild ride. I just got a weird-ass story, man. And that's just the beginning. There's always more.
Yeah, dude. We're going to have to come back for part 2 next week, dude.
I know. Yeah. Hey, anytime.
Damn,
I'm super
dude.
down.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on. It was fun.
Thank you. This
Yeah.
was fun.
Thanks for taking your time out of your day to come over here. I know you are busy with kids and life and all the stuff.
Well, thankfully, I kept my super awesome husband, so he's like holding it down at home with
And
the
your kids are doing good, right?
Yes, they are. They're good. They're healthy and well. And
Because when
thank
we
God.
were texting or whatever, and you were like, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, whatever you want. And you're like, well, I had a special needs child.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
You know what I mean?
Still
I'm
with
glad to
us.
know that story
Still with
was
us.
because she has improved
She
out of
has
that.
recovered. Yes. Oh, God.
Had.
Oh, my God. This is an eye-opener for me of, like, how I word that. Or, like, do I
Yeah.
want to keep him guessing? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, I guess we'll find out when she comes on. I'm down to talk about whatever. You
Yeah,
know,
glad
but
to know your kids are well.
I did notice. I did notice that was past tense.
Past tense in the best way possible.
Awesome. That's what's up.
Recovered.
That's what's up, dude. That's great.
That's rad, dude. Yeah, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, you want to plug your Instagram if people are listening and don't know it, and you know
Yes.
anything else?
Instagram, home and mom life. Don't look at TikTok. We don't go there. I didn't
TikTok's
just delete
dead.
the whole fucking thing.
TikTok's done.
Yeah. No, unless you want to watch all my super old embarrassing like ads. But no, go to Instagram. Instagram is where it's at. I post and on my Instagram, I don't post to my feed very often. I want to try to get better at that, but I post to my stories all the time. And I feel like it's really valuable for people to like find that connection of being like, this is just the real deal. This is the ins and
real-ass
outs
shit.
of every day. And people think I'm funny. And so I'm like, dope, dude. I think I'm a little bit funny too, but it's nice when other people are like, dude, you're hella funny. And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not just like cringing out every day,
Cringe captain. You're like, I'm not funny, huh?
Dude, I'm gonna make a hat. I'm gonna
Spinach in your teeth,
cringe
right?
captain, yep.
Awesome. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been fun.
Right on. Till next time. Hey, like and follow on the YouTube also. That would be helpful. And we love you guys. Take it easy.